Hi children, good morning. How are you children? Yes, you all are fine and safe. Yes, social fourth lesson. Our fourth class children, social fourth lesson, understanding rivers. Yes, have you seen a river children? Yes, many members have seen. Yes, for example, tell me one river. Which one? Yes, if we go to Vijayawada, it is a Krishna river. Yes, have you seen? Yeah, the river water will be flowing. Yes, you have to keep it neat. You have to means who? Yes, our government, the people. First of all, the people should not throw the waste and all into the river. What happens? The water gets polluted. Yes, we can't drink that water. So who have to see? First the people, and next to the government has to see that you have to keep the river water clean. Who should see? The government. What it should see? The government has to take care, means it has to see that the water is not polluted. Yes, yes children. Yes, if the government means, what happens? The people. Yes, the people are going to throw into the river the waste and all. You should not throw the waste into the rivers. Yes, okay children. Yes, a river is a large natural stream of flowing water. Yes, usually the rivers flow throughout a it flows throughout the every season. Yes, yeah, and the rivers flows towards a natural water body like a ocean or sea. It flows. Yes, understood children? It flows towards a large water body. It is sea or ocean. Sometimes the rivers also flow into a caves under the ground. Caves. Have you seen a cave children? Yes? Yeah. And the rivers provide water which is necessary for all kinds of the life forms. Means for the human beings, for the animals, for the plants, for everyone, the water is needed. Yes, the various kinds of organisms live in rivers. Many kinds of plants and trees grow only near the river. Yes, many kinds of. Also, some animals, insects get food and water from the rivers. They are important for the growth of civilization. Yes, many important ancient cities started near the rivers. Near the rivers, yes, this bank of the river. Here, the plantation, the trees, and the animals also. If the trees are there and all it is there, means the animals also will get the food very nicely. Yes children, a river begins on a high ground on, okay, a river begins on the high ground on the hills and mountains and flows towards the from the higher, means it begins in the hills and the mountains children. The river begins. Yes, and it flows to the from the higher ground, it flows to the lower ground. This is the higher ground and the lower ground it flows. Yes. Okay children, it begins as a small streamer and gets bigger as it flows towards. First it begins the small streamer. It will be a small streamer. And when it flows, it becomes a big. Yes. And the journey of the river is divided into high, the middle and the lower areas. Yes. Okay children. The journey of river is divided into high, middle and low. Yes, first we will see about the high areas. The place where a river begins is called its source. It is usually on high land. The water flows down very fast. It carries rocks and other materials with it. Yes, the place where a river begins is called its source. The river where it begins in the where in the hills and the mountains. Yes, and it's usually in the highland, and it is the water flows down very fast. It will flow down very fast, and it carries the rocks and other materials with it. Yes, and the next one is middle areas. Here the rivers slow down, the slope of the land less, and the what it is the river deposits sediments along the middle course. The sediments are the muddy and rocky materials brought down by a river from the mountains or hills. Yes, what are the sediments, children? Sediments are the muddy and rocky materials brought by the river water. It will be brought by the river water from the mountains or hills. Yes, the low areas. The mouth of the river is very where it meets a large water body. Low areas means the mouth of the river is where it meets a large water body, such as a sea or an ocean. The mouth falls in the low areas. A river sometimes forms a delta at the mouth. A delta. A delta is a land made of sedimentary deposits left by a river flowing into a large water body. Yes, the delta is usually a triangular piece of land. Yes, okay children. Smaller streamers and rivers from different places which join the main rivers are called tributaries. Tributaries means what, children? Yes, smaller streamers and rivers from the different place which join the main rivers are called tributaries. Are called tributaries. Yes, and when the next one, children, when the main rivers breaks in the middle, the different streamers are formed. These are called distributaries. These are called distributaries. Okay, children. Children, see here in the picture. It is given. Yes, the tributary and distributary. Okay. And the next one, children, soil brought down from the mountains by a river is called stilt. It is called stilt. The soil brought down from the mountains by a river is called stilt. During the rainy season, rivers become full and flow over their banks. As a result, neighboring areas get flooded. When the water from the flood flows away, mud or silt is left behind. Yes, okay children. Yes, the next one, children, uses of rivers. Some ways in which rivers are helpful to people. Yes, there are many ways the rivers are useful for the people. Yes, okay children. Yes children, it is very useful. The river water is very useful for the people. How? Means the first one is agriculture. Do you know agriculture? Who will do? Yes, the farmer. The farmer, yes. Stilt brought from the mountains by rivers is very fertile. It is good for growing crops. Yes, it helps the farmers. Crops need water to grow. The river provides water for farming, and this process of supplying water from a river to the fields to grow crops is called irrigation. The water is supplied in the required amount of regular gaps. Regular gaps. Yes, and the second one is fishing. The rivers are a source of food such as fish, crabs, prawns, and so on. Yes, these are the sources of food of many human beings and animals. Yes, the next one, children, transportation. Okay, traveling by waterways Ways is the cheapest form of transportation. Rivers provide a natural and easy way to travel or transport goods by boats and steamers. Yes, and the next one, children, it is generating electricity. Yes, from where do we get this electricity which you are using daily? Yeah, from the water. Several rivers make from high areas and to the middle areas, and that force of water falling from a great height can be used to generate the electricity. Dams also help in holding water and generating electricity. Yes, have you seen any dams, children? Yes, I have seen a Nagarjuna Sagar dam. Yes, and the next one is recreation. The water is also helping for the people for the recreation. People also use rivers for recreation. Some of these recreational activities are swimming, boating, yes, fishing, bird watching, and so on. In the high areas, river rafting is popular. In the low areas, parasailing is popular. Yes, and the river pollution, you have the waste from the farms, cities and factories is dumped in rivers, so that you have to not to dump these all the waste materials in the rivers. Yes, people throw plastic into the rivers. Yes, okay, children. Yes, people throw plastic into rivers. Fish, birds, and other creatures eat this plastic and die. Yes, after various festivals, people immerse idols of gods and goddesses into rivers. Have you seen on Vinayaka Chaturthi, after the festival, they will immerse the idols, means they will put the idols into the water, and the water is polluted there. Yes, very often the point used to these idols is poison. Yes, it will make the water polluted. Yes, and often the dead animals also are dumped in the rivers. The water from polluted rivers can cause many diseases. Yes, the Ganga is one of the most polluted river in India. Okay, children? Yes, children, the ways to reduce the river pollution. How? Not dumping the waste into the rivers. Yes, and not to let the factory waste into the rivers. Yes, you should not throw the waste, means the plastics and all. Yes, okay, children, you have to keep the rivers very clean, means it is in our this thing only, we have to not to put the waste into the rivers. Yes, okay, children. Yes, children, given below are some important rivers of the world. You have to see this, children. Yes, and the river Nile in Africa, the river Yangtze in Asia, the river Amazon in South America. Okay, the river Danube in Europe. Yes, the river Nile is around 6,690 kilometers long. It is longer than the distance between Kashmir in the north and Kanyakumari in the south of India. It is such a long river. Yes, okay, children, write neatly in your workbooks, in your classwork. Yes, after listening this video, you please read the textbook. Whenever the new lesson is, you are watching the video, you please read in the textbook that lesson. Okay, children.